Okay, now let's get started with this listening test. We've got all 40 questions and we will solve them one by one. Question number 1 is going to be easiest one, and then questions 21 to 30, they will be a little challenging, and then once again we have part 4. So part 4 will also be difficult. The level of difficulty will increase gradually. I mean, you will find part 1 very easy, then there is part 2. Level of English will increase, so that may create some trouble for those who just understand basic English, but you have to stick to the test till the end, and then you can practice this test later on as well. There are 2 to 3 things involved. First of all, you have to read the questions carefully. For that, they will give you 30 seconds. For example, we have questions 1 to 6. So in order to read questions 1 to 6, they will give you 30 seconds. Then they will pause the audio, and they will say, now you have some time to look at questions 7 to 10. So again, 20 to 30 seconds to read questions 7 to 10. At the end of each section, you will be given half minute to check your answers. And if there is anything to check, you can. Otherwise, that half minute should be spent to read the questions of the next section. This is how you will be able to read the questions more carefully. Okay. Then there is part 2. Again, in the middle, they will give you some more time to read the next questions. And at the end of part 2, again, half minute to check your answers, which you can comfortably use that time to read the questions of the next part. And then part 4, in part 4, in the beginning, they will give you 1 minute. Now, in part 4, they will not give you any time in the middle. Just in the beginning, 1 minute, 1 minute of part 4, and half minute from part 3. To check your answers. So you will have 1.5 minutes to read questions 31 to 40, and then audio will start. You have to just listen and answer the questions. Okay, so we will solve this test together. I mean, if you are very comfortable with part 1 and then from part 2 you start facing difficulty, it means your level of English is not up to the mark. So what to do for that? You need to practice, right? First you will be comfortable with part 1, then you will be comfortable with part 1 and 2. As you go on with your practice, you will become comfortable with part 1, 2 and 3. And then gradually part 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay. So it's going to be like this. It takes time, but you can develop all these skills. Now let's get started. Part 1, questions 1 to 6, complete the form below. It's basically form completion. Write one word and or a number. One word and or a number means answer can be 5, answer can be house, answer can be 5 houses. Okay, so it's a combination, one word and or a number. 5 is a number. 5 is a number and 50,000 is also a number. So 1 is a number and 1 million is also a number, singular number. Okay, so you don't count the digits, right? And then one word and or a number. It means like 5 cats. Cats is a word. 5 is a number, so it's one combination. Second, 5. Third, only cats. Okay, now guitar group. We switch on our imagination. Just imagine someone is going to play guitar. There is a guitar group, a musical group. So we have some information about them. Coordinator. Question number 1. Gary is already given. Now Gary is a name. So first name is given. Family name is missing or surname is missing. They will tell you the surname in the audio. If the name is unusual, they will spell it for you. And if the name is not, for example, Gary John, John, everybody knows the spelling. But if the name is something different, then they will spell it for you. So in part 1, they also see whether you know ABC or not. In part 1, they also see whether you know 1, 2, 3 or not. So those who know ABC, 1, 2, 3, they can get 2 correct answers there. Okay, so you see, it starts from this very level and then it goes on to advanced level of English. Okay, so let's get started.
Part 1. You will hear 2 friends talking about a guitar group.
Hi Coleman, how are you?
Good, thanks.
I wanted to have a chat with you because our friend Josh told me that you've joined a guitar group and it sounds interesting. I'd really like to learn myself.
Why don't you come along? I'm sure there's room for another person.
Really? So, who runs the classes?
He's called a coordinator. His name's Gary Matheson.
Let me note that down. Gary... How do you spell his surname?
It's Matheson.
Right, thanks.
Okay, Gary Matheson. Now they spelt Matheson. Okay, there are two things. Sometimes there may be confusion of N or M. Okay, so you need to listen to the word also. Word will pronounce it very clearly. For example, it's Matheson. They said son very clearly. So if it is N or M, but if you know the word is Matheson, so there must be an N. So the correct answer is Mathieson. Now if you change the spelling a little, even a little, your answer will be absolutely wrong. So spelling matters in IELTS, right? Next is level. Now when we talk about level, we've got 3-4 levels: beginners, intermediate, advanced level. Okay, so let's see what level is that, right?
He's retired, actually, but he's a really nice guy, and he used to play in a lot of bands.
Thanks. So, how long have you been going?
About a month now.
And could you play anything before you started?
I knew a few chords, but that's all.
I'm sure everyone will be better than me.
That's what I thought too. When I first spoke to Gary on the phone, he said it was a class for beginners, but I was still worried that everyone would be better than me. But we were all equally hopeless.
Oh, that's reassuring.
Okay, we were all equally hopeless. So it was the class for beginners. Now, if you have level in mind and they say it was a class for beginners, you will write it down. Now, how do you spell beginners? B-E-G-I? Yes, double N-E-R-S. So if you write with single N, your right answer will be wrong. And you know, this is very, very common. Because of wrong spelling, 3 to 4 answers go wrong. So be careful with that. Next is the place. Place means location, where they have guitar classes. What's the location? And they've mentioned the dash. Now let's see where do they have it. And it's one word only.
So, where do you meet?
Well, when I joined the group, they were meeting in Gary's home. But as the group got bigger, he decided to book a room at the college in town. I prefer going there.
I know that place. I used to go to tap dancing classes there when I was at secondary school.
So? No. Secondary school, that is the wrong answer. I wanted to see who has written the wrong answer. And by the way, see that secondary school are 2 words. Keep that in mind. Answer should contain 1 word only, okay? So please listen to this part.
He's retired, actually, but he's...
So, where do you meet?
Well, when I joined the group, they were meeting in Gary's home.
When I joined the group, they were meeting in Gary's home. Those who don't understand English, home. Good. IELTS, no problem. Okay? So, home is not the answer. He said, when I joined the group, we used to meet at Gary's home.
But as the group got bigger, he decided to book a room at the college.
He decided to book a room at the college. A room at the college. So, place is not room. Place is college. And there is a room there. So, correct answer is college. And IELTS listening is the best way to improve your pronunciation. Those who say college, right? I'm going to college, university. So college and university. The way they speak, try to idealize them and try to speak like them. You will get good band in speaking as well. Now, question number 4. Dash street. Name of street. Very simple. And how many words? 1 word only. Simple. Okay? Name of, and again, it's IELTS. So they may give you 2 options. So you got to see what is the right option out of them.
I haven't been since, though, and I can't remember what road it's in. Is it Lock Street?
It's just beyond there, at the bottom of New Street, near the city roundabout.
Yes, of course.
First she said Lock Street, He said it's beyond that. And then the name of the street is New Street, and then they mentioned something else. So correct answer is New.
I haven't been since, though, and I can't remember what road it's in. Is it Lock Street?
It's just beyond there, at the bottom of New Street.
Okay, at the bottom of New Street means end of New Street. So correct answer is New. Then they mentioned first floor, room number this, and there is no question. Audio will run smoothly from there, and you will also run from there. Okay. Then time, Thursday morning at. Now Thursday morning is already written, and you will write time. For example, if they say 9 a.m., simply you will write 9 as a number and a.m. That's it, okay? If they say, for example, 9:30 a.m., you can write 9.30, 9 colon, double dot, 9 colon 30, 9 dash 30, and that's gonna be fine. And then a.m., p.m., if they speak, you can write, okay? Sometimes a.m., p.m. is already written. And as they mentioned, Thursday morning at. So Thursday morning at, if you write 9, even that is correct answer. If you don't write a.m., p.m., because when it says morning, it's understood that it's going to be a.m. Now please listen and answer.
The guitar club is on the first floor in room T347.
Right. And when do you meet? Is it at the weekend?
We meet on Thursdays. It used to be 10:30, and that suited me well. But now we meet at 11. The class that's in there before us...
All right, so correct answer is 10:30. She's written the answer and then, yeah, okay. She wrote very confidently 10:30 and then, yes, I found the right answer. See that? This is what they do. That's why IELTS is #1 test in the world. They always give you two options. We used to meet. Which tense is that? Past tense. We used to meet at 10:30, but now the time is 11. So you can write 11 as a number, but if you write 11 as a word, even then it will be fine. But I advise you, whenever there is a number, write it in digits. Like 11 should be written as 11. Okay? All right, let's go on. Recommended website. Now the website is the perfect dash, and you see there is inverted comma. The perfect something. Okay, now they will not change anything. It's going to be exactly the same. The perfect dash.
Well, I'd love to come, but I don't have a guitar.
Well, you can always buy a second-hand one. There's a website called The Perfect Instrument that sells all kinds of guitars, violins, and so on. I'm sure you'll find something there.
All right, so what's the website? The Perfect Instrument. So you will write instrument, incorrect. All right, now we move on to questions 7 to 10. Complete the table below, write one word only. This time, no number, nothing else. We have a table and one word only. A typical 45-minute guitar lesson. Now, this is the breakout of 45-minute guitar lesson. What do they do? The first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, then again 10 minutes, and the last 5 minutes. And we have questions. By the way, there is no question in time. There is no question in activity. All the questions are in notes. So you have to read the notes carefully. And how to track the audio. When they say, for example, 5 minutes for tuning guitars, you know audio is there. When they say 10 minutes strumming chords, now you don't know what strumming chords is, and you don't need to know. In IELTS listening and reading, it's not necessary that you know everything, okay? Then when they say 15 minutes playing songs, 10 minutes, and then 5 minutes. Now, question number 7. Question number 7 is about time, 5 minutes, tuning guitars, using an app or by notes. Now they use two things. Either they use an app or they use something else. It may be a software, using an app, or by dash. So tuning the guitar. I mean, does anybody play guitar? No one? Okay. Tuning the guitar is, they adjust the chords of the guitar and all that. That is what they say tuning. I remember I used to learn harmonium and my ustad used to tune tabla. with saw and this tabla stuff and all that. So tuning the guitar. Now there are two options. One is app. Second, they will tell us in the audio. Okay, and answer will contain how many words? One word.
So, what's a typical lesson like with Gary?
Well, he always starts by getting us to tune our guitars. That takes about 5 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Some people have an app they use, but others do it by ear. Gary goes round and helps them. And while he's doing that, he tells us what he's going to do.
Okay, some people use app or otherwise they do it by ear. Very good, Hawa. By ear, absolutely. He said that.
So, what's a typical lesson like with Gary?
Well, he always starts by getting us to tune our guitars. That takes about 5 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Some people have an app they use, but others do it by ear.
Some people have app and others do it by ear. Ear will be the right answer. Alright, so we go on. Question number 7. Please listen to this again, then we go ahead.
So, what's a typical lesson like with Gary?
Well, he always starts by getting us to tune our guitars. That takes about 5 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Some people have an app they use, but others do it by ear.
Alright, some people have app they use and others do it by ear. Question number 8. 10 minutes, strumming chords, keeping time while the teacher is dash. Now teacher is dash. If there is a verb, they will use ing form of the verb. Now guitar teacher, so what do you expect from a guitar teacher? Teacher is dancing. Maybe they are playing guitar and teacher is dancing, or teacher is advising, or teacher is something. So, I mean, you have to see when they are strumming chords using thumb, teacher is doing something. Now the action which is performed by teacher will be your answer. And for teacher, he may use the name of the teacher, right? Like the name they mentioned, Gary. Yeah. So Gary is dancing while we play the guitar. Answer will be dancing. Okay. Now let's see what do they say about it.
First, we usually spend about 10 minutes doing some strumming.
So, is that using... Oh, what are they called? Plectrums?
No, we just use our thumbs.
Oh, much easier.
Gary reminds us where to put our fingers for each chord, and then we play them together. Sometimes we all just start laughing because we're so bad at keeping time. So Gary starts clapping to help us.
All right. Gary starts clapping. And those who don't understand, they will write laughing. He said we are laughing. We are laughing. So not teacher. Teacher is clapping. So Gary starts clapping. For that, they've written here teacher is clapping. For teacher, they use the word Gary. Question number 9. 15 minutes playing songs, often listening to a dash of a song. They listen to a dash of a song which is related to a song. So let's see what do they listen to.
Do you learn to play any songs?
Yes, we do at least one song with words and chords. I mean, that's harder than you think.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
That part of the lesson takes about 15 minutes. He often brings a recording of the song and plays it to us first. Then he hands out the song, and if there's...
Okay, he often brings a recording of a song and plays it first. So when he plays the recording, what do they do? Often listening to a recording. Answer is recording. Okay, just focus.
Do you learn to play any songs?
Yes, we do at least one song with words and chords. I mean, that's harder than you think.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
That part of the lesson takes about 15 minutes. He often brings a recording of the song and plays it to us first.
Okay, plays it to us first. He often brings a recording of a song and plays it to us. So when teacher plays something to the students are going to listen to it. Okay, if I say I play the audio to you, so what will you do? You will listen to the audio, okay? Now, let's go on. 10 minutes, playing single notes and simple tunes. Playing together, then. Now, after playing the guitar together, what do they do after that? Then. Okay, so listen. Playing together, then dash.
Do you do any finger picking?
That's the last 10 minutes of the lesson, when we pick out the individual notes from a tune he's made up. It's always quite simple.
That must be hard, though.
It is. But people like it because they can really concentrate. And if we're all playing well, it sounds quite impressive. The only trouble is that he sometimes gets us to play one at a time. You know, alone.
Oh, that's scary.
It is. But I've got used to it.
So sometimes he makes us play one at a time and alone. So they play together, then alone will be the right answer. A bit confusing. Please listen to this last part.
Do you do any finger...
And if we're all playing well, it sounds quite impressive. The only trouble is that he sometimes gets us to play one at a time. You know, alone.
Oh, that's scary.
It is. But
Okay, that's scary. Like when you're playing alone, then your guitar notes are different. Okay? All right.